Wake up with insurance news at 6:30 a.m. only on Insurance Alerts. We are India's largest and Asia's second largest, most dedicated insurance news platform. We have a reach to over 1.5 lakh of people, which includes 1.2 lakh of insurance agents from 200 towns. Insurance Alert now spreads to over 20 countries. So you can now download our mobile app from the Play Store, or you can visit our website at www.insurancealerts.com.
Welcome to Insurance Alerts broadcast. I'm Vivek Jain here, Editor-in-Chief. Today we have with us Mr. Anand Pejawar. He is President, Operations, IT and International Business, SBI Life Insurance Company. Welcome to the show, Mr. Pejawar.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sir, today data is the keyword. Everybody is talking about data, but people actually don't know what this data is and how it is used, what happens, and what exactly data means.
Thanks, Mr. Jain, for having me on your chat show. Very good question on data. This is one word which is very used as and how it is required to be used by people at different things. But the way I look at data is, it's a very valuable information that an organization either collects on its own or it generates on its own, okay? Or it transmits from one organization to another organization. And in today's world, according to me, data is a very, very valuable asset. And I'll tell you why it is a very valuable asset. As they generally said that data is knowledge, data is power. Okay. Now in today's world, they say data is also money. So someone who's having the right kind of data in the right format and can be used for the right manner, I think that that organization is actually a winner in all senses. Now again, when I look at data, every organization will always have this huge thing about collection of data. What do they collect? How do they collect? How do they store? How do they use it? And how do they transmit it or probably archive it over a period of time? And that entire process, what I just mentioned, I would probably put it in a capsule called data management. So you have data, which I just mentioned, is a very valuable information. It's a real asset. And the next process of what the organization does with this data, which I would call it as data management.
Good. People are very much concerned about their data, which they are giving it to, everybody. Nowadays, everybody wants so many things. So people are also scared keep how this data is stored, how they are kept in the insurance companies or any company we are talking about, and how they use it and how they misuse it also. Because misuse is a bigger concern of general public today.
Yeah, very good question. I think, and I will now give my reply not only limited to insurance industry, but the entire BFSI industry. And this question of yours is very important in today's pandemic scenario because majority of the activities, I will not call it work, majority of the activities have moved from physical contact, because in BFSI, we normally found that right from the front end sales to the last point, which is servicing, majority of it was happening face to face. If I take my life insurance industry, which I represent for so many years, all of us know that the sale of life insurance used to happen only face to face.
Right.
Though people say that, okay, we have online systems and people are going online and buying online. I think for the last at least 20 years that India has opened up since 2000, 2001, if anybody checks the online purchase, it is less than 2 to 3%. Okay, in that kind of a scenario, all of us agree that whether you want to have a loan or you want to have an education loan, personal loan, home loan, open accounts, whatever you may call it, people used to have a face-to-face interaction. This pandemic has completely changed the nature of the way companies were doing business. And that is where this data becomes very, very important. Now, I'll go one step ahead and then probably tell you what I feel is very important before we get into the safety measures of data. These two words are very loosely used in the industry. And when I say industry, the entire BFSI industry. One is data security, another is data privacy. On the top of it, it looks almost identical. There is security, privacy, mein kya difference hai? What is a big difference? Nothing major in that. But if you typically get into the details of it, there is a stark difference between data security and data privacy. What is data security? Data security deals with the way you protect, or the organization protects, the data that you have either collected, created, and then how do you ensure it doesn't get out of the system through illegal means? When I say illegal means, basically it is cyber crimes, or as in today's world, what we call it as hackers. Okay, so this I will put it as data security. What is data privacy? Data privacy is basically how have you got this data of that particular organization or the person, and what are the legal means or methods by which you have collected that particular data, and how do you take care of the data or use that data? So this is a broad bifurcation of the data security versus data privacy. Now, if you look at it, what is data security? As again I said, is that you can lose data. An organization can lose data in many ways. How can you use that? You can lose it while working. If your systems are not properly designed to have proper backups, you can lose data even while you're working. Okay, so that's the first way how I look at is data security. That how do you lose data? System failure. I would probably put that under word of system failure. You are working on a computer, suddenly your system goes off. All the work you had done from the last saving till the time is all lost. You don't know where it has gone, or probably you will have to put back that data again into the system. The other way of looking at is, we heard so many times, my computer got a virus and it got corrupted. So that virus will corrupt the data, and all the hard work that the companies have done to collect the data, store the data is all lost. Okay. So for that, you need very strong DCDR. DC is data centers where this data is properly stored, properly taken care of, and disaster recovery sale, which is DR. So tomorrow, if my DC fails for some reason, my DR should be in a position to start immediately within a smallest gestation period and give me the same data which I was working on when I was connected to my data center. Okay, so this is a very, very important thing from data security point of view. In today's world, when we are in the pandemic era, what we have seen who are into IT field now is that the cyber crimes have gone up substantially. Okay, just like all of us are now working from home, the hackers are also working from home, and hackers are working 24/7. Okay, so if you look at the kind of cyber crimes that have happened in the recent past, the numbers have gone up substantially. Yeah. And today the hackers have got the ability to either delete or amend the data, which is very, very risky. Earlier, they used to only encrypt the data. Today, they have gone and got the technology where they either delete the data or they go and amend the data. Amending data is much more dangerous than deleting the data. Okay, so this is where companies have to ensure that they have requisite amount of firewalls to take care of their systems. They have antivirus software which is updated on regular basis, because this is something which we find that especially when you are not connected to your LAN system, your upgradation of your anti-software does not take place at regular intervals. There are patches which the OEMs, the original equipment manufacturer, provides at regular intervals as and when these attacks happen all over the world. And if our system is not in a position to update that into your computer, then you are at a risk of data loss, or the security of the data is not good. And the last and the most important point, what I will see is loss of device. I am having a smartphone and I lose my smartphone. Today, you do your banking activity on smartphone. Today, you withdraw money, you can do whatever you like, mutual fund investments, insurance investment, transfer of money, internet banking, everything is done on your smartphone. Just imagine your smartphone is lost, and the person who gets the smartphone gets an access to the smartphone details and the data that you have stored, and it's completely gone. So these are some of the things that probably I would look at it from the data security point of view and how data is lost. Now, the very pertinent question that you used is, what does SBI Life do to protect this data?
Yeah,
I would go a little once. I would go a little one step forward and say, instead of just restricting my question to SBI Life, I would say BFSI industry does. Okay. Now, if you recall my first statement, I said we also call something like data management. What is data management? Data management starts from collection of data. Now, whether I'm in a BFSI industry, in a loan industry, in a banking industry, in insurance industry, whichever way you look at it, I collect data. Data is collected through proposal forms. Okay, whether it's an account opening form, whether it is a mutual fund membership form or insurance proposal form, whatever form you may call, okay, whichever name you may give it. But a person gives a lot of information in that particular form, right from his date of birth to his father's name to his address. In insurance, you have whole lot of information which sometimes takes you a few days to fill.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your father's age, how, in case if he passed away, what was the reason for his passing away, at what age did he pass away, your brothers, sisters, all this information is required and which is shared by the applicant. This data is very, very important. So what today has happened is most of the BFSI sourcing agents or sourcing field personnel do this again on their smartphone. So mobile is the basic device based on which this entire information is collected. So the collection of data happens either on an iPad or on a smartphone. So most of the organizations today, what they have done, including us, is we have devised applications where storage of this data on the mobile phone of the sales executive is not possible.
Okay.
So that application only acts as a carrier of data from the mobile where he is feeding in the data to my management system or the policy management system or the main heart of the company where the entire storage of the data is done. Now, this is again very, very important. As I said, if the sales guy stores the data and if he loses this mobile, the entire data is gone, right? Now, there are also applications available, which we call it as MDM, Mobile Device Management Systems, where centrally, from a central source, if somebody says, sir, I have lost my mobile and there was some data in it, I can actually pump in and knock off the entire data which is there on that particular mobile. Okay, so this is again very, very important for any organization who's now collecting data through mobile. And I think every organization in a BFSI industry has come out with these mobile applications in the last 1 year. Okay, whether it is for sourcing, whether it is for servicing, whatever you may call it, but it's completely done on either mobile or on their portals through which the person can themselves log in and get the work done. Second is usage. How do I use the data? The data has been received by me. In insurance industry, I get financial data also. Okay, I get your salary certificates, I get your Form 60. Many of these organizations, including us, have taken permission and entered into the entire ecosystem of financial world. For example, you give a PAN card, we key in the PAN card, it gets automatically integrated with NSDL. So the, you know, in technological terms, those who are watching this and know technology, they will say that through API integration, we do a server to server connection. So it's absolutely secured, safe. The entire information, what that organization carries about you, once you give us the approval to go get into that system and give the data, it comes to us. Like earlier, when UDI used to allow us to do the KYC on Aadhaar, this was possible because each of the organizations were either global or local AUA, KUA. So you just key in your Aadhaar number and Aadhaar server used to give us the details based on your authorization that you used to give. Then you have so many credit bureaus which are operating. So all these credit bureaus are ready to do the integration with you and give the financial information of the particular customer. Now, this data, what you collect, is very important for an organization to analyze your proposal, whether it's a loan proposal, whether it's an insurance proposal, or whatever use you may put it. And that is the usage of this data. Okay. Now look at it. If I am going to be an underwriter for a company to underwrite a risk of your life, I am working from home. Okay. So I am using a particular application of the company, not in the LAN environment. LAN environment, I can put a lot of safeguards in the system so that this data is not lost. So how do we do it? Now, IT enables us to do this through VDI and VPN. So these are two very important technological innovations which has been there in the industry for some time, and almost all organizations are using it. Okay. And this again is a very secured network which is there, where loss of data is not possible. So that particular use, like VDI, virtual desktop integration, will only call for that particular data from the system. And after it is used, it goes back into the system. You can't store anything on your desktop. So the risk of loss of that data is zero. Okay. Now, organizations have also gone to the extent of providing web mails and all to take care of it. These are all fully secured kind of a thing to a large extent. Hackers will still find a way to hack it through different ways. That's a different topic which will take another long time to discuss. But as of now, I think every organization, to the worth what it is, have put in requisite IT safeguards to take care of this data which they use. Now let's come to the third point of storage. How do I store? Now, life insurance company. Life insurance company, according to me, is the only organization in the country after life and death registry which holds the latest data for the longest period of time.
Correct.
If you have taken a policy at the age of 30, and if it is a whole life policy which runs up to your 99 years of age, just imagine your latest mobile number, your email ID, if at the age of 30 you are not married, your nomination was different. Later on, you get married, you change the nomination. So your wife's name, everything gets updated to the latest information that is there. Okay. And then the onus on the insurance companies to protect this data is very, very high. And that is where companies have now, like even SBI Life, we have put in a lot of data loss prevention systems in place to ensure that data is not lost. For example, now we are talking on the Zoom thing that we are looking at. Now, if I'm working on the same thing and if I get some data, I cannot copy that data. But now you will agree that I have a mobile with me on which I can take a photograph.
Yeah.
Correct? So if there is a name, date of birth, address, telephone number which is displayed on my screen, I can just start my mobile and take a photograph and I can use that data. But today we have systems in place where if somebody tries to do it, the moment the computer or the laptop identifies a camera, even if the camera is that of a mobile phone, it will just get off. You can't copy that data. This technology is currently available in India and we are very, very successfully using it. So this is one of the way how I ensure that the data which is given to me by the customer or which I take from the ecosystem based on the customer's consent, I use it only for the purpose of life insurance. So that usage, what I have said, that I will use this data only to analyze your proposal and underwrite the risk. I use it only for that purpose. And I also ensure that this data, what I have, I store it in the right manner with the right kind of atmosphere in the environment that I have created, which is absolutely safe. And there is no chance of this data getting lost. So we have something called DLP, data loss prevention systems. So these systems are there where I cannot send data from email. The moment I send that, the email will go, but the attachment will get completely knocked off into a sandbox. So it will be quarantined. So we will look into it, what this data is, why is it being sent, what is the purpose of it being sent, who is the recipient. And then, see, most of the organizations, I'm very happy to say, have also appointed data protection officer. We call it DPOs. very, very important position for an organization, because this person's job is to ensure the protection of the data of this organization for which he works. Okay, and this is something which is very, and the last point is the transfer of data. Now, I might have to transfer data to my vendors. Vendors had to transfer it back to me. I might have to transfer it to regulators. I might have to transfer it to some other information bureau, like we have something called Insurance Information Bureau of India, which is formed by the regulator, and all the companies share the data. Now, I have to do the transmission of the data also in a very secured environment, so that there is no loss of data while transmitting it from one place to another. And this, I think, is a very, very important aspect which each and every company looks into it. And especially today, since April 2020, I'm very happy to say that every organization it's worth, working in BFSI industry or otherwise, have invested hugely into information security, information data storage, and information privacy or data privacy that we have worked out in this industry. Last but not the least, where is this data being used? We said usage of data. You collect so much data. There's a lot of talk going on in the industry about big data and all that happening. Every organization today analyzes data, and it's done through analytical models which are run on artificial intelligence and machine learning. And there are a huge amount of things which one can actually work out if the data is rich. So every organization will have either a data mart, which will be a structured data which is available with them, based on which they do the run the analytical models for them to understand the behavior of the customer, for them to understand the sentiments of the customer. Whole lot of things can be done. I can even come out with a full new product based on the analytics that I do on the data which I have, based on the age, the profile, the occupation, the income levels, the gender, whole lot of things, including geography. Okay. And most importantly is that this entire data which I have, I could have unstructured data. So companies have also formed data lakes, huge lakes of data which is there, structured, unstructured, both put together, well protected by all what I earlier mentioned, with firewalls and everything in place, so that nobody can hack it, nobody can enter it, and the data storage is done in a right manner, and also use it for MIS purposes. So you have an MIS layer on that. You start using the data whichever way you wanted to generate whatever MIS that is required, including analytics on MIS, and work. And all of this is done in SBI Life in a very, very structured manner. And we ensure a lot of data protection that happens. Being a subsidiary of SBI, we have this huge onus on us to ensure data security, data safety, and data privacy also. So that's the reason I gave you, in the beginning itself, I gave you the differentiation, what I mean by data security and data privacy. I hope I have addressed your question, Vivek sir.
Yes, sir. 100%. I think this session was very, very informative, and our viewers will actually know what exactly things are happening, how their data is protected. And because people are very scared, they don't know what to do, what not to do. They don't get much of knowledge. So this will be a very, very informative session from you, sir.
For having me on the show, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Namaskar, sir.
Thank you. Namaskar. Thank you.
Want to see the best videos of insurance industry and interviews with the CEOs, CMOs, COOs, CDOs of insurance companies, brokers, TPAs. There's only one way you can look it up to. That is Insurance Alerts broadcast channel on YouTube. So you better subscribe to our channel, you visit and get notified with all of our new videos on insurance.